Put a headlight in my car the other day.
Whoa!
Big moment for me.
Fucking Elon Musk over here, dude. Whoa! Rocket Man, huh?
Hey, didn't know you came on here to brag. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was, it's one of those things where I did it and I was so proud that, because that's such a, I just never did stuff like that years ago. And now I'm like, well, let me sit here and figure this out. And I did it, and then could not find anybody in my life who cared. I walked in, I told my wife, I go, Lucy, I just put a head, she's like, yeah, I don't care. So I just, I think men need, I mow the lawn. I want to walk in, I want somebody to say thank you. Nobody.
Did you show the baby? Did you walk up and be like, you're dead?
She's still working on shapes and colors right now. I can't really.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ehsan. I got some dates. Tomorrow, April 24th, we'll be at the Comedy Store in La Jolla. April 25th, me and Deric will be at the Comedy Store in Hollywood. June 12th through 13th, I'll be at the Deaf Puppy Comedy Club in Manteca. August 29th or 30th, I will be at a comedy festival in Bend, Oregon, headlining there. And then Deric and I will be co-headlining September 4th, Ontario Improv, September 10th, Irvine Improv, and September 20th, Detroit House of Comedy. So get your tickets now, and you'll see us.
Hi guys, for me, pretty simple. I'll be everywhere with Ehsan that he said, but also on my own, I'll be headlining the Velveeta Room. That is May 2nd and 3rd, and here in Austin, Texas. And June 27th, 28th, I'll be in Janesville, Wisconsin, at the Comedy Cabin. And July 11th and 12th, I'll be in Memphis, Tennessee, doing a couple Don't Tell shows there. So I don't know where they'll be, but if you look up Don't Tell Memphis, Tennessee, July 11th and 12th, get those tickets. I'll be headlining. And thank you guys so much. Watch my Don't Tell comedy special. It's out. Watch my appearance on JRE from last week and enjoy the show. Awful. And
awful.
No one, he didn't like any of it.
Yeah, it was one of those shows where there was a there's a bowling alley.
Oh, that was like that bomb you had too.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that bomb.
Yeah, so
Legendary.
Dave was like, we need a show by Tuesday to get it done. So we found Bianca was a comic here. We found her, and then she put on the show last second at Speakeasy.
Yeah.
But there's a corporate party going up top. So while you're on stage, you can just hear people bowling.
Yeah, full on bowling.
Full on
Great time being had upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The only reason I say a legendary bomb from him, because, I mean, we've been friends forever. I've seen him bomb a million times. Yeah. But this one was different because he doesn't really do act outs. But he had like a big act out.
Oh, man.
And that was like working.
Okay.
So the look on his face, you know what I mean?
Dead
we were in
silent.
the back like, oh, you don't even do act outs.
Well, how big of an act out? Were you like on the ground?
No,
so-
but
okay.
I'm like I'm in a full lunge.
To nothing.
To nothing. To just.
And then you got to get out of it somehow, right?
Yeah.
Dude.
No, and then full lunge, nothing, and then the guy up top hits a strike, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. Dude. But yeah, good room. You're gonna enjoy it.
Okay.
You'll like it.
Hopefully there's not a corporate party upstairs. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think hopefully Moon Tower planned it out a little bit better than we did.
You think that?
It's one of the places too where like the outside is like you can see the outside from the like.
Oh yeah, they have
There's
big
no
windows.
wall. Like the window can be taken out.
Oh, really?
One of those kind of vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's but this is the best. I think best club in the city goes Mothership and then this too.
I hung out at the Mothership last night. I got to see green room and everything.
First time.
Yeah, I'd never been there. I'd never seen the outside
Nice.
so yeah, I just checked it out. It was cool, man.
Did you see both rooms and
Yeah,
all
so
that shit? The
Brian
balcony?
Holtzman was on stage. That dude is, I don't even know what he was doing. It was wild. I walked out there like, this guy's crazy.
Oh, that's
Yeah. The first time seeing him,
I'd heard
vivid
tell of him,
experience.
but I'd never been in the room, so it was kind of fun. But yeah, man, it was cool.
Do you remember what he was talking about?
He's talking about legit getting by 14 Puerto Ricans.
Oh yeah, so you did see Brian Holtzman.
That's when.
Yeah.
That's when I walked. That's like the first words I heard when I walked in. I was like, "Oh man, I'm here."
My favorite is especially because that was a Brian Holtzman show. This was like late, so it's like half of it is fans, and then half of it is tourists who have no idea who he is.
What they walked into.
Thursday.
So I like to sit in the lobby and just watch all the people be like, yo, what the fuck? Because they're confused because they're like, this guy's talking about the most insane thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. And then half the people in the audience are losing their minds, like this isn't the most insane thing they've ever heard.
Yeah.
So they walk out super confused. It's one of the best.
I don't know if y'all are like me. I don't think when I started doing stand-up, that was the first time I met adults that were not just like my parents, just like normal adults. And I went to an open mic in Nashville, Tennessee, and the guy hosting it was a white guy in his 50s. His name was Noah He Didn't. And he had he was very nice. He had sandals on, khaki shorts, and he had a shirt on that said "Virgins, thanks for nothing." And this guy's like my dad's age, and I've only ever seen like people like my dad that are like, I don't know, like serious professional people.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm talking to Noah He Didn't, and I was like, this is like a whole world that I didn't know about. So it's fun, but it was different.
That is such a good observation. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot that I used to only be around my parents. You said that, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I went and did an open mic for the first time, and there's 38-year-old men, 40-year-old men. I'm 21, 22 at the time.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I said, I see grown men, and then they have families.
Yeah.
And just up there, just up there saying crazy shit.
Wild
bombing.
stuff, dude. And then it's interesting how age stops mattering in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, like some of your closest friends in comedy for me are like.
That's a very funny thing to say out of context. Just clip that out.
Yeah, age
stops mattering. I mean, it sound like this.
Dang, let me reword that a little bit. It's funny how after 18, age stops mattering. That's crazy.
That's even worse, actually.
But I was thinking about like my closest friends in comedy. Like some of them are 10 years older than me, like 15 years older than me, and I don't even think about it anymore. But I was like, when I was before comedy, I was like, if I was 18, I'm not gonna hang out with a 33-year-old. Like that's insane.
Why would I?
Yeah,
right.
Why would I even be in the same place as them?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And then you get into comedy, and now, like most of our friends are 50.
I know,
40s, 50s.
It's weird.
Yeah, everyone's like way older. It feels like, and now there's like, how long you been doing comedy?
9 years.
9 years. So like you're definitely to the point where like, oh, there's not like younger people. You're not like the young guy anymore, and like now that's the whole thing.
It's weird not being the young guy anymore.
Yeah.
How old are y'all? Y'all are
34.
32.
Yeah, we're same age.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that moment where I was at an open mic in Nashville, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, dude, I'm the old guy here now.
Yeah.
This is crazy. There's like a group of like young 20s who like started together. It's like a next wave coming up, and then I'm the old guy who's been here too long. And I'm like, this is crazy, dude. It's kind of fun, but dude, time's flying.
Yeah, it is fun being at the club, and then because they have door guys here at the mothership, guys, and we were door guys at the Comedy Store. But that was when we were the young guys. Because I'm not realizing, in my head, that was yesterday. I was like, I was taking out trash. Like I was taking out trash at the Comedy Store yesterday. It's like, but that was, and then one day he was like, Deric, that was like 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago. And I'm like,
when you put it like that, dude.
and then because I'll hear door guys talking, and I'm sure you do too, where you hear them, and they're having a conversation, and you're like, just deja vu, like, I have had this conversation.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation, exactly what they're talking about, how they feel. So it's like you said, just to be like, oh, I'm older. I have very slight wisdom.
Do you have actual advice to give? Do people ask you for advice? Do you give advice?
When people ask, I never try, but people do ask for advice.
You teach a class at the mothership?
Yeah. $30 a day. But come by, please. $25 for you. Of course, take $5 off.
Move the mic stand. End of class.
You know what's funny? I was telling someone this. Stand-up comedy has actual very little rules. Move the mic stand is an actual rule.
That's
you can't you cannot have a great set with the mic stand in front of you. No.
But there's always I feel because comedy does have hard fast rules, and move the mic stand is one. But I do believe there's exceptions to every rule in this game. Because also one of the rules would be don't wear shorts or don't do this. And I've seen I would say one of my rules, if you asked me before I met him, I'd be like, they're like, hey, can I be a crab on stage? I'm like, don't be a crab on stage. And now I've seen a guy who's like, no, you can crab. You can 100% crab on stage. And it works.
Yeah, you're dumb if you don't crab.
You should start crabbing.
At this point.
Yeah, we're actually behind the 8 ball here. We should be crabbing right now.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen people murder mic stand right here, and you're like, what? And like full confident murdering too. Like they just didn't move it.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen that.
Crazy.
I think an experienced comic, they like know where the mic stand is, right? It's when you can tell somebody's first time, they take the mic out and they're like pacing behind it, and it's right. That's where you're like, get it out of the way, dude.
100%.
And I still think you should wear pants. If you're a man, nobody wants to see a man's calves.
Facts. But then again, you'll see Sam Talent and they're loving his calves.
I told Sam Talent to his face. I said, and I've only.
The energy was crazy. I told him to his face.
And I've only met him like twice, but I got comfortable enough with him. I go, you're responsible for an entire generation of comics wearing shorts on stage. And he said, I know, and I apologize. And I think he's gone back to wearing pants. I haven't seen him lately.
If you're fat, you can wear shorts.
Why is that?
I don't know, but they do it. I'm just reporting what I see. I'm just reporting what I see. The fats wear shorts. That's all I'm saying.
Man, you know what's funny? Because fat ankles and fat calves are fine. It is if you saw a ripped guy's legs, you know, I think that's a huge distraction.
Well, just a ripped guy in general would annoy me. And there's a lot of dude. Austin I was walking around 6th Street. I saw about 5 dudes that looked like that. That dude who did the morning routine where he rubbed the banana on his face.
Black guy,
There's like 5 guys walking around that look exactly like that, just around Austin.
Yeah.
People are in shape here, dude.
It's a big wellness city. There's a lot of saunas and ice baths. It's a big ice bath town.
Yeah. And you know what else? Oh, it is a big ice. Well, the guy who runs the city promotes ice baths every day.
Yeah.
The biggest thing in the world. So you got that. But I was just about to say, honestly, it's because a lot of comics are really in shape here too. But everything is kind of just like anywhere, everything's top down. The top guy is an 80-year-old shredded man.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Rogan's so old, so shredded.
Who are the top guys in other cities? I don't know if there's a hierarchy so obvious.
I would say Nashville that you guys have a hierarchy, right?
It's
I would say the guy,
me at the top.
You at the top. Somewhere in there is Nate Bargatze. Somewhere in that pyramid.
Yeah, I mean that's for sure.
Because Theo's there too, right?
He is not. He's there, but he's not super around. I'd say he spends most of his time in L.A. From my perspective, I don't know.
But that's just me from outside. I'd say that would be.
Yeah, to me, it's like
no,
probably
that's complete. That's completely fair.
And then does the scene trickle his essence through? Like not like people do it, but I'm talking about like the way he lives, the way he kind of is.
From the outside looking in to Nashville, it does seem like there's a lot more of the clean sort of comedy, and a lot more people play golf. And I feel like that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
niggas here get nice tubs.
Yeah, and saunas.
And saunas.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, for sure, definitely, it dictates the culture in a lot of ways.
In LA, everyone's an Asian woman, Ali Wong. And it slowly, you see it throughout the scene. But no, I would say because New York probably you got like Schultz, of course, and then I don't know because New York's so big and there's so many
I think New York and LA is kind of like a lot bigger.
Well, because there's so many guys who are at the same level of hierarchy. Whereas here, you know, like I said, it's Joe, it's Tony, it's Shane, and Segura. So it kind of like branches out, you know. But then again, if you're every day you're around the most successful people in the world and you're a young comic, you're gonna be like, should I be drinking Bud Lights?
Why not?
It's gonna go in your head of just like, should I be okay? This guy's a billionaire.
Yeah, it's the guys that are around Nashville. It's Nate, Dusty Slay.
Dusty Slay.
You know, Steve Byrne lived there for a while. He was always Kathleen Madigan lives there. We've got like a good crop of a lot of like older comics, and then
successful names.
Hopefully, guys keep sticking around. You guys poach a lot of our best comedians. They leave and come. Yeah, a few of them. Yeah,
who have we poached
come out here? Well,
Nashville?
Casey Shornima came out here before she went to
her.
New York.
Well, yeah, SNL poached her.
Fiona Colley is going to move out here soon.
Fiona's a Nashville girl?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, dude. That
Yeah,
breaks,
never mind.
that
Yeah, we're
breaks
getting
my
them.
heart, dude. She came up in
dude.
Nashville, and now she's basically living out here now. And then
We get him in free agency.
You do.
That's when we strike, dude. You guys got to sign the contract.
Yeah, and I've had a bunch of buddies move out here, and they've all, they're doing various levels of well out here, so
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, we get a lot of it.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So you started in Nashville. Like,
Yeah.
was the long-term plan to sort of stay out there, or did this sort of scene just like pop around you, and you're like, oh, I don't have to move somewhere to have a career?
I think when I first started, I probably romanticized the idea of moving to an apartment in New York and eating out of cans,
Yeah.
and like making $4 a week, and I thought maybe I'll do that at some point. I realized pretty quickly I didn't want to do that. I started working the road out of Nashville. Nashville's actually like a great place to work the road out of, like locationally.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, if I can work and be a full-time comic out of Nashville, I do like it here. So I'm there for the foreseeable future. Just bought a house. I'm raising a kid there, so I'm like, I'm gonna stick around Nashville. Hopefully other guys stick around. But it's having guys like Dusty, who's doing great Netflix specials, everything out of Nashville. Like he's never moved anywhere else. He's not going to. Like that's huge for people to see.
That's so
You
cool,
know.
though. I love that. Everything you just said about getting a house with the fucking wife, got the
Yeah.
kid, you know what I'm saying?
Mowing grass, dude. Do you ever mow grass?
Oh!
Yeah. Do you have a
Breaking
lawn
me up.
out here?
No, but our friend, we just went to his barbecue, CJ Landry, really funny
Okay,
comic.
Yeah.
He has a house, and he was literally saying, he goes, Deric, I mowed grass the other day.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, my goal is to one day have a yard big enough I can get a riding mower, but I'm out there a little push mower right now. It's not pretty. It's a garbage lawnmower. It's electric. It gets clogged every 2 seconds, but I'm loving it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm the master of my little corner of the city. you
How
know?
many times a week do you mow? Like, how many times a month are you mowing?
Well, it just started back up. I didn't mow during winter, but I'm looking forward to doing it every week now. I'm gonna hop out there.
Do you have sprinklers? Sprinklers are the thing. That's the key for the green.
I should do all that. I mean, I don't actually know how to take care of the lawn. I just want like a 2-hour break by myself outside. I'm just trying to go on a walk by myself out there. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I should invest in all that, in that knowledge. But I don't know.
No, I'm excited.
Now that you're
for
not
it.
renting anymore, it's like that's like part of the thing.
It is.
That's like part of the thing about being a dad. You got to know how to do a lawn.
Hey, I put a headlight in my car the other day.
Whoa.
Big moment for me.
Fucking Elon Musk over here, dude. Whoa. Rocket man, huh? So you're one of those technology people.
Yeah, didn't know you came on here to brag. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was, it's one of those things where I did it, and I was so proud because that's such a. I just never did stuff like that years ago, and now I'm like, well, let me sit here and figure this out, and I did it, and then could not find anybody in my life who cared. I walked in, I told my wife, I go, Lucy, I just put a head, she's like, yeah, I don't care. So I just, I think men need. I mow the lawn. I want to walk in. I want somebody to say thank you. Nobody does that.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Did you show the baby? Did you walk up and be like, you're dead?
She's still working on shapes and colors right now. I can't really. Yeah.
Daughter.
Yeah. Daughter,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, I'm about to have a daughter very soon. May
Congrats,
23rd.
man. That's awesome,
I'm
dude.
fucking pumped, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's the best.
No, hearing that, but literally nothing. The reason we love it here, because in my head, it was like, oh, I'm going to be in LA forever. Why would I ever leave? There's zero chance. Why would I ever leave LA? But I was also in the back of my head of like, damn, I don't know how me and my wife are ever going to start a real family. Like,
Be
I have
normal people, yeah.
I have to be Eddie Murphy to get a house.
Yeah.
That's like there's no in between. It's just Eddie Murphy. And so to move here and be like, oh shit, we can like have a house, family, fucking
dude.
let her, get in a really good high school for football. It's like an unreal football program. 6A Texas football.
Wow.
But I am excited to like have more kids and be able to because this is a real place. People have. I like that every audience here is, and I'm sure you feel the same way in Nashville. It's like everyone has a job.
Yeah.
You perform in New York and LA. You're performing for. I don't know what
Influencers.
anyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of influencers.
Or just people who just have money and don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's good. You're gonna have a kid because then you're like, if you don't, I don't know. Then 15 years from now, you're just like a 50-year-old guy that doesn't have a fan, you know, and it's just like, what are you even talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You don't want to be that guy. You got to grow up, like, because the people in the crowd are growing up and living normal lives too.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You know, I think about that sometimes.
You also don't want to be like that 50-year-old guy, 60-year-old guy who's in there just hitting on the 20-year-old comic, and you're like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, dude. Every time I see that, I was like, God, I got to find a wife.
You'll get it, though, bro. You want it. I feel like that's the whole thing is you got to want. A lot of these motherfuckers don't want that.
Right.
Because I'll be talking to, you talk to pretty much any comic, like male or female, and they always are like, oh, man, do you want to settle down? Do you want to have kids, family? They're always like, oh, but I got to get the career stuff going first. And it's like, what do they think's going to happen?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get famous and then just have a family. Like, I mean, yeah, because you'll have more options. You'll be famous and have money, but it's like, it's not going to be what you think. It's going to be awful.
Yeah, well, I tell people, when people talk about having kids, they go, well, we'll have a kid when we're ready. And you're like, well, dude, you're never ready. Just kind of, you figure it out when it happens.
Yeah.
You know, you're never like, all right, everything, let's do it. It's just, you just figure it out. I did a month away. Are you excited?
Oh, my, over the moon.
Have you you got a crib together?
Cribs
and everything?
together, purchased by Tony Hinchcliffe.
Oh, that's nice.
It's sponsored. I have to say it.
That's nice.
I literally have to say it. He made that very clear. I have to bring it up. But yeah, he got us a crazy nice, way too nice. Like, it's a crib that converts into a bed, so she'll use it when she's 10, 8.
What's the brand
cool.
name? Do you know? I think I got one that converts to it. It'll eventually be a toddler bed. At one point, it was a mini crib, and now it's a full size crib.
Yeah, it's cool that they can do that.
Damn, it's like crib Transformers.
Yes,
dude.
That's crazy. That's wild. Technology's wild.
Yeah, but damn, I wish I knew the brand. My wife would know. But
the baby technology now, like explaining it to my mom when she's visiting, because she raised us without any of this stuff.
Yeah.
First of all, she raised us like so different than you're taught to do it now. I slept on my stomach in the crib.
On a pillow.
Yeah, dude, on a pillow, blanket. There's teddy bears in the crib. Like, they didn't care, dude. I was drinking Diet Cokes a month old. Like, they had no idea what was going on. And now at the hospital, they're like, you lay that baby on its back, absolutely nothing else in the crib for months. So
yeah, they were strict about that.
I have to pass a little test to get home from the hospital. At least I did. So things are different. Anyway,
it's like a driving test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the baby like this.
They brought a fake baby in a crib up to our room, and they were like, "Get this baby ready for bed." And I had to like move the doll around, and they were strict about it at the hospital in Nashville. But I have a baby monitor that I can pull up on my phone, and when I'm on the road, I can pull it up and look at it, and I'll get a little alert if she like rolls over and stuff like that. It's crazy, dude. The technology now is nuts, dude.
Of course, there's baby Ring cameras. I didn't even think of that.
Dude.
Yeah, that's
see if your baby's stealing from you.
Yeah. If this baby's taking packages, they're missing.
No, you know what's funny? We got the old school monitor. So the monitor you just hear, no visual. Because I don't know if you met Mark Gagnon, comedian.
Yeah, I know Mark.
Mark's the man.
Marky
Gags.
Yeah.
He just had a baby, literally just had a baby as well. And I was at his place, and they had the video, the whole thing. And he looked at me and said, "Bro, don't do it. Don't get this." Wow. I go, "Really?" I was like, "Why do you see your baby whenever you want?" He goes, "You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to see your baby this much."
Yeah.
And he was like, "It makes you have to look at it every couple seconds." Like, he said, this is from him. And I was like, damn, when he explained it, I did get what he was saying of like, he's like, "Bro, you can't, like every single thing. And you're just overdoing it." He said, at least he said how he felt. And so we got the one monitor where you can just listen, and then we'll go from there if we want to upgrade.
Yeah. That's a good point, but I'm also not supposed to be on the road 3 days every week from the baby, you know?
Right. You have a different perspective.
Yeah, so it's like, I got to look in there. I want to see it every now and then.
Damn, that's fucking,
Yeah, that's true. You just miss your baby, I imagine. Yeah.
They do tell you, or they told, our baby was in the NICU for about a month, so but they told us, you know, a lot of parents will get these like socks that will monitor heart rate and all that kind of stuff, and they're like, we don't recommend you do that. You're just going to obsess over that kind of information. Like, you don't need to know your baby's respiratory rate at any given second.
Why? Because that just seems, I'm already going to be nervous.
Anxiety inducing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already, because a lot of people ask the same thing. They're like, "Bro, you like, are you nervous and all this shit to be a dad?" And I say this, bro, I'm not nervous to be a dad. I'm only nervous for the birth. Like,
oh, really?
The anxiety of like, because I'm understand, because we've like, you know, we've taken all the classes, we're locked in. So I know they've shown us all the videos. So I'm like, oh, I'm aware that this is about to get fucking real.
Yeah.
Like, for real. I'm
Right.
mentally there. But what I'm not mentally, because it's just never happened, I'm very, just like I'm sure anybody, you're protective of your wife. Like, if she's in a upset or in a bad mood, now I'm kind of like in a bad mood. You know what I mean? Type
And
shit.
it's the most helpless feeling you'll ever feel.
Yes.
At the hospital when you're watching your wife in pain and being poked and prodded and kind of tossed around by all these people, and you cannot do anything about it. And you're just standing in the room like you can't help.
It's your fault.
It's you. You got her in this mess. And there's just, dude, it's a very helpless feeling. And we had all kinds of complications with the birth. We ended up having to do a C-section. And it's a lot, dude. It's you wanna be right there and like protecting her, but you got to trust these doctors and stuff. So it's like it's impossible.
So that's the only thing that I'm actually like, you know, like at night when I'm like thinking about that. Like, man, it's just gonna happen. She's gonna start going into labor, and then that's it. Then I just gotta watch her go through hell.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I'm chilling. I could eat a bag of hot Cheetos and be fine right now. While you're in the worst pain of your life, I can literally do anything.
Yeah.
That's what's mind blowing. It's like, wow.
Catch
I'm
up on some
so
TV.
fine. I'm so okay.
You're not doing a natural birth or anything like that? Like
We're doing the natural. We're doing home birth.
Really?
Yeah.
Not at a hospital?
Not at a hospital.
Are you doing an epidural or anything?
No. I mean,
dude.
No, we're not doing anything. I know it's going to be.
All right, good luck,
brother.
No. I mean, I wish you the best. I'm saying I can't. Yeah. I have no idea what that's like. That sounds wild.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you soon.
Now I understand why you're so stressed about it. I was like, mine was pretty. It was a pretty sterile environment. It's a hospital. They know what they're doing. But that's a whole different animal right there.
Yeah, bro. So I mean, it's what she wants. And I'm for it because it's like, cool. And it's cool because you realize too, like, now that I've taken like a million classes, because I'm there for it, because I want to know. I just want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't want any new information while I'm there. I don't want them to say something and I'm like, wait, we got to get the dragon out. Like, you know what I mean? I want to know that there's a dragon involved. I want to know that, hey, there's possibility a dragon will enter this room. So I've been learning everything. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, well, they got to rush to the hospital. And it's like, oh, that's not real. They'll know she has to go to the hospital way before. Even because that's what the nurses are. So doula is a nurse, pretty much.
Okay.
Midwife is a doctor, so she comes when it's baby time.
Okay.
But the doulas will know immediately if they're like, just from feeling around inside, be like, oh, we got to get her to the hospital.
If the baby's breached or anything
anything crazy. So
ours was sunny side up, they called it.
Really?
Which is just wild that it's an egg term.
It
sounds fun.
I thought you were saying that just with your own, but they said it's sunny side up?
They go, the baby's sunny side up.
You want the yolks exposed?
It's better than scrambled, I guess. Sunny side up is just like literally the baby's just upside down.
Yeah, so the head is supposed to be facing their head's supposed to be facing the spine.
Yeah.
The wife's spine.
Okay.
So that's because, bro, this part of your head is the biggest. They want this out first.
Right.
Yeah.
Then what they don't want is this to come out, and then so this is hell already. You're going through this is hell, and now you got to go through the biggest part.
Right.
And you've already gone through hell.
Right.
They want hell first.
Yeah.
Right.
And then because once you go think about this, once you're like this, you are like, oh, you can. Oh, okay. The rest of your body does kind of keep sliding, like feel you know what I mean?
Right.
You're like, oh, this would be easy.
Right.
So it's got to be
I
facing
feel
the
like the
spine.
shoulders will get you again, right?
Yeah, but you could like crunch up the
But
shoulder.
the baby like baby already
comes
like
out.
Flex it. Let her know what's up.
So but yeah, bro, it's crazy learning all this stuff and what it is and especially like they've been telling us to like prepare for the birth, and then the last class they were like, have you been preparing for postpartum? And it's like, well, nobody said that.
Yeah.
What do you mean prepare for the after?
Yeah.
And they were like, you got to prepare for the after. So now like that's a thing.
And then in the midst of all this, you have to raise a child.
Haven't even thought about that yet.
It's crazy, man.
Bruce yesterday, one of Rogan's security guys, I was talking to him and he said, damn, bro, I'm so excited for you, yada, yada. And he was like, bro, he said, I know it sounds stupid, but you have to understand, 1 minute, you'll be you, Deric Poston, that you are. And then 1 minute later, you'll be a father.
Wow.
And it's just like, whoa. And it's just in a minute. It'll happen in a second.
See,
And
that's
it's
the
like,
difference,
damn.
dude, is that your wife has been dealing with the physical reality of this for 8 months now.
Yeah.
Right? So she's felt the baby's been there. It's not really it's amazing how quickly it becomes a like physical reality for the dad. Because it's just kind of been like a thought, like an idea until now. And then you're going to be holding she's been holding it for months, you know?
Months.
So I think it's different. I think it's different for the dad.
I like what you said, the physical reality.
Was there, at least from what I've read, when you held your baby, was there like an instant like connection moment, or did that take a second, like maybe a couple days later, where you're like, and then it hit you like, oh shit?
Yeah, the whole experience was such a blur. We ended up having to do a C-section. We had like some complications with some health problems with the baby right away. So it was like, I don't think we had a typical moment where like you got to hold the baby and stuff. She had to go to the nursery and had to go to the NICU and stuff. So we never had that like initial moment, but it's there, dude. It's there for sure.
Yeah. Our friend Mitch Burrow was telling me, he said like, he didn't have the initial thing, but it was just, he said like, I don't know if he said a couple days later or maybe a week later, he said he was literally just had music playing and he was singing while holding the baby. And he said, bro, I started crying in a way.
Yeah.
Like, he said it just hit me like a wave.
Are like TV commercials and movies and stuff hitting you different? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anything. Bro, I watched Brave. It fucking fucked me up, dude. Brave fucked me up, dude.
I can't imagine watching Finding Nemo as a dad.
Dude. I was in the
That would make me
NICU. My
cry.
daughter's maybe 2 weeks old, and there's like some little terrible TV in the top corner of the room, and I put on an episode of Shark Tank, and and in the episode, it's this girl. She's probably 12, and she invented a sock with a pocket on it. Kind of a silly idea, but she's like excited about it, and she has social anxiety a little bit, so she's nervous about speaking in front of the sharks and being on TV. And right before she walks out, it shows her kind of giving herself a little pep talk before she walked out, and I just started bawling for this girl. I was like, and dude, it was, I never would have reacted that way a year ago, but something about this girl summoning up the strength to do this.
Yeah.
I imagined her parents watching that and
just
being proud of her. Or that moment of like, your kid being up to bat at a game and you're just proud of him and scared for him and nervous for him and they're on their own and you have to just like watch them. You can't hold their hand all the time. It was just, I was going through a lot at the time.
No, those are the best moments, bro, when you're like watching somebody else go through something and you're like, damn, bro. To feel like that, I've had these thoughts already,
Yeah.
It's happened where you just see a little girl doing something and you're just like overwhelmed with like, damn, it's going to be real.
One of my favorite internet compilations I like watching every once in a while is parents crying at like kids' first pro sports game.
Oh, dude.
Ooh, that's always a good one.
It cuts to the
always a
dad
good
in the
one.
stand and he's crying.
Stone face crying too, where you're like, that kind of crying. It's like, damn, dude, this dad is so proud. Oh my God.
Or like the whole family, like the sections cheering. That's always
dude.
nice.
It's the best.
Especially when you see him celebrating this shit. I remember watching it Brock Purdy's first game.
Oh, yeah.
And they showed his parents and how proud the dad was. And it was like, damn, this must be
Everyone's chanting his name and he's crying.
crying.
Yeah.
Dad's balling,
Yeah.
bro. That shit gets me.
And he's like, my son's going to make $40,000 for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That's right. He's crying.
Didn't he just sign a big contract?
No, they're negotiating right now.
Okay, so he's about to get paid.
Yeah,
He's gotta get paid,
He's got. I mean, 50 mil.
Yeah, it was crazy the amount of kids in college making more money than him.
Yeah,
Just with NIL
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, dude.
And he was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and now in NIL we have guys holding out. That guy in Tennessee is being held out.
I know, man. I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I think college football as we know it is about to die.
Oh, I mean,
You're a big college football guy, right?
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame fan.
Yeah.
the realignment of the like having Cal in the ACC is like
Right. That's why the
College
move
football's
is
gonna
not
have to
even
die.
be in a conference, dude. Just be independent.
Yeah.
like we've done, dude.
You guys figured it out early. Because in my head, that was always the worst thing about y'all. And it's
Well,
funny how now it's
People
come back
still
around.
hate it.
Yeah.
Everybody hates it, dude.
Oh, I mean, growing up, it would be like, are they just by themselves?
Yeah. Well, we get to keep all the money. We have our own television contract.
Yeah, you have a contract with NBC.
Yeah, Notre Dame Broadcasting Company. That's what we call it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's great.
I'm so stupid. I was like, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
And for a second, I was like, oh. No, but yeah, college football is fucking, I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to keep it. Just the transfer portal alone has changed the game so much.
I saw this, like a graphic about March Madness this year of every team in the Sweet 16 and then every college their players started at, and just there's no such thing as like a homegrown team anymore. So they just pluck all these players from all over.
It's just like North Carolina or something that doesn't have a bunch of transfers, and that's about it. You already have to be like a blue blood school,
right.
And you know what
people
else?
not to leave you.
It makes rivalries not as real. It's taking it's slowly, I feel like, taking everything, because if everyone's just like I said, if everyone's transferring school to school, it becomes it's pro football. It's just pro.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I guess the Packers and the Bears hate each other, but like, nigga, a lot of these guys played on each team.
Yeah.
You know, well, yeah, I guess. You know, it's like that feeling where you're like, oh, but they're all millionaires. So it's not really that rivalry feeling where it's a bunch of broke 18-year-olds being absolutely shafted.
Yeah.
With a pure hatred for Florida in their heart.
Yeah.
The flip side of that, the nice part is I feel less guilty being mad when my team doesn't do well, because I used to be like, guys, these are student athletes, these are kids, and it's okay if they can't throw the ball well. These are children,
yes.
You know? And now our quarterback makes a bad pass. I'm like, we're paying you $2 million a year. You suck, dude. You know, I'm screaming at him now.
Yeah, once that money enters, it's like, hey, you make real life money. Here's some real life heckling. Here's some real life.
Yeah, just to tell you how things have changed. When I was a student at Notre Dame, our starting quarterback got suspended for a year for cheating on a test. Now, it was crazy at the time. I feel like no other school in the country would suspend their starting quarterback for a full season.
That's crazy.
For cheating on a test.
1 game, 2 games max.
Yeah, a full season. So just to go from that to our starting quarterback's making $2 million a year and like doing ads for, I don't know, New Balance or something. It's just like, it's a totally different world than the one I was in.
Wait, when were you at Notre Dame?
2010 to 2014.
Oh, yeah, we're the exact same age. That's when I was in college. Yeah.
I'm trying to think who was quarterback around then, because it's like this is post.
It was Everett Golson was the quarterback.
Everett
who ended
Golson,
up
okay.
getting, and then he went to Florida, transferred to Florida State, transferred to a couple. He had a weird career. But Tommy Reese was the quarterback for a while, and then that was the Manti Te'o years. That's where all that.
Yeah, that's why that's why I was like, were you there for that? I'm like trying to do the math.
Yeah, dude. My roommate junior year walked on Notre Dame's football team.
He rooted it.
He rootied it, dude.
Damn.
Except he was 6'7", 370. He was like, it's way less inspiring. Like, everybody assumed he was on the football team anyway.
It was way less.
Yeah, so maybe you'll think this. I've been trying to tell this story on stage, and I can't figure out how to. You ever play NCAA football, the video game?
Of course.
So the first year, he's in the game because he's a walk-on. They went and, they got the roster of the team. So I'm like, this is crazy, dude. You're going to be in NCAA football. So we go to Walmart at midnight, the night it's released, and we get the game. We go back to the dorm room. We're so excited. First thing we're going to do, we're going to make him the starter. He's like 7th string, but we're going to find him. So we scroll down on the roster, and we look for him, and this is before they had the names. It was just like the numbers. It was number 67, 6'7", 370, from Nashville, Tennessee. He's like, oh, my God, that's me. And he scrolls down to it, and it's a black dude. The picture. And he was like, dude. I mean, he's white with red hair. He's like the least black guy of all time. And it was just because he's so far down on the depth chart.
And they weren't looking,
They just randomly generate what that guy
also,
looks like.
they said 6'7", 2. This guy's a black dude.
Yeah. It was just so fun. I was like, dude, I think that's a compliment. Just take it. Anyway, so he walked on the football team. So when the Manti Te'o story broke, I was in the dorm room with my buddy who's on the team, And he goes, oh man, this is fake, dude. I talked to her. He's like, that's a real girl. I talked to her on the phone. And I was like, what? He said, well, one time Manti was just walking around the locker room on the phone with his girlfriend and was like, hey, say hi to my buddy Kevin. And Kevin talked to her for a minute. So he's like, nah, that's not a fake girlfriend. That's a real girl. I talked to her. It turns out it was a fat Hawaiian guy named Renaya Tuasasopo. But wild story. Crazy thing to be there while it was happening.
What was the feeling on campus when that story broke? Like, was there like, what was that? What did that feel? Because y'all are like going for a national championship.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening?
We had lost the national championship a week before that.
Yeah, they got remember that was the
they
Alabama
got blown
game.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
I can't imagine that, dude.
It was bad. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think we were so shocked. And it was such a big story, dude. It was like the biggest story in sports for a long
Well, I
time.
mean, he was the
story in
Heisman
America.
candidate.
He was. He came in second in the Heisman.
Yeah.
He was
This is
the
a big story
most
in America, I think.
decorated college football player ever. He won everything but the Heisman.
But I remember thinking like, oh, this guy's one of the best linebackers. Yeah, just from that season. I remember all those thoughts. And then it's crazy how one game, I was like, I don't know if this guy's ready. Because if you watch that Alabama game, it felt like you were watching a fucking college team against a middle school team. It was like, that game in particular was like one of the crazy kind of blowouts where you're like, oh.
Did you watch the documentary about it at all? It's on Netflix.
The one on Manti Te'o?
Yeah. He talks about he's at the Home Depot awards show. He's live on ESPN, and during a commercial break, he gets a phone call from Lene Kakua, his girlfriend, who he thinks is dead. So he's on TV, and your dead girlfriend calls you. And he steps outside, and she's like, I'm alive. And he goes, I can't deal with this right now. I gotta go win the Butkus Award real quick. So I can't imagine what was going through that guy's head. I mean, he was he was a kid in the grand scheme of things.
Did you ever meet him?
I met him a couple
campus?
times. He wouldn't know who I was, but it's a small enough school you would run into. I would see him at the bar. He'd get a pineapple juice at the bar, because he's a Hawaiian Mormon, so he would drink pineapple juice.
That's awesome.
And I'd see him around all the time.
Samoan Mormon.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them. I think there's a pretty good chunk of them.
Really?
Yeah, because it came down to colleges. It was between BYU and Notre Dame. Those were the two that he chose.
From Hawaii, too. That's crazy.
From Hawaii, man. So it was ripe for a catfishing situation.
right.
But that was before catfishing was even a term.
Yeah.
It was kind of the first wave of that.
I think that's why it was such a big story, too, because everyone was like, he did what? Like, he fell for
You
what?
got tricked by a woman on the internet?
Yeah,
Are you crazy?
That is...
But yeah,
whereas now it's way more common.
If you're like a young Mormon kid in this new, like it's like looking back on it, it's like, oh, I could definitely see how it happened. Because while it was happening, I was like, well, that's crazy. He fell for that.
Yes.
But like when you put the context of who that person is and how they got there and what they're like, you're like, oh, he's just kind of a sweet kid that got screwed.
A sweet, kind of naive kid, devout Mormon family from Hawaii. All of a sudden, he's dropped in a predominantly white Catholic university in northern Indiana.
Yeah.
Very few people
that he can connect with.
That he can connect with. And then a woman reaches out who has the same background as him and starts a relationship with him. And you start to understand why he did that, So I'm very sympathetic to the whole thing.
100%. No, it's funny because when I watched the documentary, I remember being like, damn, this, like you said, this is like a nice guy.
I cried at the end of that documentary, dude. I cried at the end of it. Go watch it now as an adult. As a parent.
Yeah, you're right.
And think about, what if Manti was your kid?
Yeah. So many emotions. Yeah. You're so sad. You're also like, oh my God, it's in our blood. We're all dumb. Yeah. But I do remember this because I remember I felt very bad for him. And I was like, damn, yada, yada. And then, but one thing he said that stuck with me in the doc, he goes, man, it was so hard. And then people afterwards would come up and ask for a picture. And then I would still always take it. But in my mind, I'd be like, oh, am I taking a picture with somebody who made fun of me? And I was like, yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
He said, that's my goal, man. Be nice in a world that's just spit on you. I used to be able to do that whole speech. I watch it every now and then. If I need to get fired up, I go watch the end of that. Do you have videos like that you go watch them every now and then just to get you just to feel something?
My
Like
God,
I don't know,
yeah.
the Braveheart speech or something like that where you throw it on.
This was literally I did Jerry Wednesday, and me and Rogan talked about this. And the video we both felt the exact same was Izzy. You watch UFC at all?
Yeah, sure.
Stylebender beats Poetan after
wow.
losing 3 times to him. So it's this big Izzy, it's this big moment, and he fucking he hits him. He does his celebration on him. He fucking makes fun of his son as revenge for his son making fun of him 12 years ago.
Wow.
Like, he remembered it, and then he gave that speech about like fortifying your mind and watching yourself rise because you only get one chance in your life. And bro, it hypes me up so fucking much.
Do you watch like an edit of it with music and stuff? Or
Oh,
just,
of course.
Just the,
And then it ends and it's just cool pictures of him as like a samurai and shit. Boom, boom, boom. You're like that kind of. But that's great. We had that exact conversation. And that video fires me up. I watch it randomly all the time.
Yeah.
You know what gets me?
What?
Steve Gleason's block punt.
Great moment, dude.
Dude.
It's a great moment.
That's what gets me. Because you're on this is your first game back in the Superdome.
Yeah.
From Katrina. The Falcons are coming off like 2 NFC championships in a row. Michael Vick is entering his prime. You're a bad Saints team. They went 2-14 that year.
Just got Drew Brees.
Just got Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And then what gets me is that like he blocks the punt and the announcer does a great job. The announcer doesn't say anything. And you just hear like New Orleans being like, damn, we're going to be okay. And just this one guy, he died of ALS. His whole story is crazy. But in that moment, a special team guy like putting the city on his back.
Yeah.
That shit gets me every time. Every time.
Remember.
Steve Gleason. I remember his name, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that gets me I'm like, oh, dude, you can just do this.
Yeah.
You can just.
You know another moment?
You
And
can
this
be
is
great.
This, way less inspiring.
Yeah.
You ever seen when Penn State has Mo Bamba going?
No.
And you ever seen
I
this?
bet that's fun.
Yo,
Yeah.
Val, look up Penn State Mo Bamba. So they sing Mo Bamba, I got O's calling. They sing it in the stadium. They get so ruckus. They get so loud that the other team has to call a timeout, and they get even crazier.
Mo Bamba.
It's probably the first one right there.
Yeah.
The most electric
But you
moment.
probably could do the 29-second one. Because this is like the full video.
Oh, dude.
Go. Bro, this is to start the game.
That's awesome,
fires
dude.
you up a little
I got
bit.
chills right now, and I hate both these teams. And I still got chills.
Yeah.
I've got a few. I watch the Kick 6 Alabama-Auburn from 2012.
I love that.
There's a video of it synced up with the Auburn radio call. That's just the,
Yes.
Yeah. Auburn's gonna win the football game. Auburn's gonna win the football game. I get. And then I have some weird movie moments that I go watch. I go watch the scene in Social Network where Andrew Garfield smashes Mark Zuckerberg's laptop. I'm not coming back for 15%. I'm coming back for all of it.
I say that to my wife sometimes. Whenever the context is right, I say that.
That, and then weirdly, what does it for me? I was just watching. I used to do this while I had like my desk job. I go sit in the car and eat lunch and watch these videos just to get pumped up for nothing.
Yeah.
just to go back in and do phone calls. It was a complete waste of time. I love I watched the scene from Good Will Hunting where Robin Williams is on the bench talking to him.
Yeah,
know?
dude. Let him know he doesn't know shit about life.
If I ask you about war, you probably throw Shakespeare at me, right? Yeah.
But you never
been near one.
Yeah, held a man while he died.
You never held your friend in his arms and what? Yeah, dude. It gets me going.
That's a great one.
I think about the choice he makes at the end. Just I gotta go see about a girl.
Gotta
He
go
goes
see
to
about a
California,
girl.
and it's like, oh damn, that's how you gotta live life sometimes.
And then you think, well, what happens when you think Will Hunting's going to do well in Palo Alto? He's gonna.
Yeah, you don't think about that next step.
First of all, there's no way that car makes it to California.
No way.
That car that his idiot friends put together for him. There's no way he gets out of Massachusetts. But even if he does, he's not staying with that girl. So I'm glad they ended the movie there.
Yeah, because sometimes you do like, damn, I shouldn't have seen about that girl.
Exactly.
I shouldn't have
Made a
said
big
bye to that
mistake. Actually, can you set up a few more of those job interviews? I need to. Yeah.
I made a huge mistake. Oh, dude. Yeah, no, there's a lot of ones that fire me the fuck up. I watched the Ray Allen shot. That one fires me up. You know, rebound Bosch, back out to Allen, his 3-pointer, bang, bro. That one, woo, that Steph Curry's double bang fires me up. It's a lot of bangs. I'll watch montages of bangs.
Yeah, Mike Breen bangs.
All these sports moments, so much of it is the call, like a good sports call.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love when sports callers, like sports announcers, like let a moment breathe a little bit. Like they say bang and then they pause and just let us hear the crowd. It's just like, there's such beautiful moments.
Yeah, Joe Buck is really good at that. The digs, sideline, touchdown, unbelievable. And then he says, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like 5 words for this incredible moment and just silence. And you're like, that's how it's supposed to be done. Let the moment, let them feel the moment. Because that's what sports is these moments.
Yes.
Yes. Texas Tech one, he's like, Crabtree, sideline. Crabtree, sideline. Oh my God.
There's weirdly enough, I love the radio voice of the Seattle Mariners. I watch clips. I'm not even a Mariners fan, but I watch the guy's so good. Dave Sims, I think his name is. And he has a call that you should check out where the Mariners knock in a run at the end of the game, and he just goes, base hit left field. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. What a night. What a night. I love it, dude. And then he pauses for like 30 seconds. And then he goes, I'm telling you, hey now, hey now, hey now. It's so good, dude.
I don't think commentators get enough. Bro, you said that, and I'm like, has anyone ever done this on a podcast where they just talked about great commentating
I love
moments?
them, man.
You know what's crazy? So the Giants have great radio voices as well. And every once in a while, bro, they pulled off this double play back in 2012, and I'll listen to it all the time just because of the... Hey, actually, Val, can you pull this up? Look up Angel Pagan double play.
Oh, man, I love this.
Yeah, dude, we should have started here.
Yeah.
We were talking about comedy like idiots.
No, that's not it. Let's see. Angel Pagan lands an incredible double play. Oh yeah. The one on you were on YouTube actually. Go back. Yeah, that one's it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this call is crazy.
Go. And that's hammered into the gap. On the move is Pagan, and Pagan makes the catch. Crawford trying to frame. Double play. And that may be the play of the year.
It's the oh my that the color commentator makes right before the double play.
Also, I love when you can tell they're sitting, letting the crowd go, but also you can tell everyone is like, damn, I just saw that. Because even right now, it's like, damn, he did that.
Yeah, that was dude, I watch this play all the time.
The relay guy's throw was incredible.
I got one more moment for you.
Yes, I like this.
Yeah, this is look up Brian McCann, Gomez, and then it'll come up. It's the two. So I love. Yes. Yeah. You can find
Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, right here. This is perfect. It's going to be the first 30 seconds. So it's Braves game, Brewers game.
No one there.
This guy hits a home run. I think it's a weekday game or whatever. But he starts talking trash, rounding the bases, right? Freddie Freeman, nicest guy in baseball, yelling at him. So he rounds second. He starts yelling at the pitcher. The catcher, the protector of the field, sees him doing that, and he's like, well, you're not touching home plate. Walks up the third base line, stops him. He's like, you're not touching home plate, dude.
Getting face to face with Gomez. He has not stepped on the plate yet.
Bench is cleared.
Let's fucking go.
I just love that, dude. If you talk trash to my team, I'm not gonna let you touch home plate. I'm fighting.
Nobody's touching home plate. Everybody's leaving the game.
Yeah.
I love that everybody's out the game now.
Yeah, that's a locker room guy right there.
Top of the first. This is how the game started. Oh my God. Top of the first.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's the whole thing.
Oh, if you're at that game, you're like, am I at the greatest thing that's ever?
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah, there's so many of those. Oh God.
I love team. I'm getting sentimental and emotional, but I love team stuff, dude. I love a guy sticking up for his team. I love, if you hit me with a pitch, next time you're up, I'm hitting you in the head with a pitch.
to.
I love an offensive lineman going
touching my quarterback.
If you touch my quarterback, I'm knocking you out. Like I love that stuff, dude. Just like a locker room unit. I kind of miss that. You have a little camaraderie in comedy, but it's not the same as like you're not putting your body on the line.
That would be crazy.
To
put your body on the line for another comedy.
He's dealing with the hecklers. The green room clears.
Green
He just run out like it's from the
heckler,
bullpen. Fight the heckler. There's no bullpen fights.
We've had a couple like brawls not brawls, but like I say fights at open mics where a bunch of comics got involved. Have you ever had that?
Never. You know what's funny? Never actually where it got to fisticuffs, but I've had twice in my career where I'm getting into it with a heckler where it goes beyond a point. You know, where it hits a point where you're like, oh, now it's not comedy. Now it's two grown men having a discussion.
It's no longer a show.
I have a microphone, but I don't. We're talking now. You know what I mean? I've had that happen 2 times, and both times it was crazy to see just comics from the back of the room to the middle of the room to just right by the guy. Like, and they're open micers, so they're like, I'd love if this guy did something. I have nothing going on. I'd love to go to jail again.
I have nothing to lose.
Literally nothing to lose. I will fight for Deric's honor. But I've had that happen twice when I saw it. One was here. One was literally in this club right here.
Really?
Yeah, in a small room too, and he was front row, so it's like,
wow.
If me and him, we're about to go. Like, we're about to go. But then Josh, I remember he was like, oh, bro, at least the moment it got real, I was next to the guy like, please, let's fucking go. Wow. We're going to fuck this guy up. And I don't want to fuck the guy up.
No.
I'm like, I'm mad that it's like, damn, bro, you heckled to the point that we're here now. That's really what's going on in my head. Of like, now we're here.
I had this new joke I wanted to try. Now I can't do it.
No, I can't do anything because I'm like, am I going to fight another grown man?
Now the whole night's about this.
Yeah, have you ever had that? Where where the heckling got far?
No, I've had this last couple years. One time in Nashville.
Really?
Yeah. So I had this Israel-Palestine joke.
Oh yeah.
Where I would.
Oh boy. Pro Israel?
No, it was
actually pro Russia. It's a weird joke.
It's a weird take. But it's this whole bit. At the end, I like simulate shooting someone to the sound of EDM.
Oh, okay.
So just digga, and I do a sandstorm.
That's fun, yeah.
Right. So it's a fun. It doesn't really take a side, I guess. Well, I mean, people are dying, but
it's really an EDM joke.
Yeah, it's really an EDM joke. Yeah. And this guy in Nashville starts like rushing the stage and being like, "That's hack. That's hack. That's." And I remember being like, "Wait, you've heard this before?" That was my reaction. I wasn't even mad.
That's hack.
That's hack. And I was like, "Hack." You can say unfunny, but there's no way it's
Nobody's
hack.
ever stormed the stage calling you a hack.
Yeah.
You're a hack. Hack. I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
He was saying heck?
He was saying hack. You're a hack.
You're a hack.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying heck.
No. Hack.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wild.
H-A-C-K. Yeah, you're a hack. And I was like, my first initial reaction was, you've heard this?
Yeah, I wish you started listing all the comments.
What did he mean? Did he didn't know what hack meant?
No, I think he's just like, that's what comics say, and I don't like this joke. So
wow.
Yeah. And then I remember he was in he was the birthday boy, party of 19.
Oh,
he got kicked out. None of his party left.
Oh, really? He was the birthday boy?
He was the birthday boy.
Oh, that rules.
Yeah.
That rules. That's sick, dude.
And it's sort of the crowd was okay until then, and sort of broke the crowd open because they were like, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, once you have like a moment that kind of puts everybody in the room together, I bet the show was great after that.
Yeah, it was great after that. It was.
They've all had this fun experience together. Now they're
19 people?
19 people.
18 people didn't
leave his own birthday. He got kicked out of his own birthday. Didn't get to Duncan.
Was he drunk? Was he drunk?
He had to have been.
Yeah, very rarely did someone sober do that kind of.
That's so. Like that. I just love the idea of how quick they turned on their guy. In my head, I saw Spartacus, but instead of saying like I'm Spartacus, everyone was like, "That's him."
Yeah,
that guy. No, the guy, him. That's Spartacus.
He's Spartacus for sure.
Yeah.
And then the second time that happened was in same joke in Seattle. This lady starts performative crying. So the whole set is going, I would say, relatively well. I would say I was having a good set. And then I start this Israel-Palestine joke, and just from the corner, literally, wah. She says wah. Like, bro, it's you can hear it on my record. Wah, dude, crazy. Everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? And this was a wild night. So earlier in that night, I was smoking my vape pen in the green room right under a fire alarm. So I set it off. So that's how the show started. I set up the fire alarm, and the helium portal, it shuts all the electricity in the room. So I was already having, like, I was on one.
Yeah.
And then that's how that show ended.
Was this Fort Duncan?
This is Fort
Oh,
Duncan.
yeah, that
as
would make
well.
you be. If you fucking ruin a headliner, you're like, my bad.
Yeah. Wah. And they said afterwards she was on the ground just in the lobby just wailing.
Like convulsing?
Yeah, like convulsing, and the boyfriend was trying to like get her to go, and she was just like, it was one of those like, oh, you have to show everyone you're a good person, and this is how you choose to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
But was she pro-Israel or pro-Palestine?
I don't know. I don't know. I literally don't know. She was just crying. I just performed the joke at her until the end. I didn't. So I was like, oh, you're getting this.
It'd be really funny if she also was like, "You're a hack," because then you'd have been like, "Oh fuck, maybe."
Oh, fuck, maybe someone's already doing this.
Yeah, performative crime. But there's nothing better. I don't know why it gets me riled up as a comic or even watching someone else go through this. But when you're watching a guy, his wife is heckling, like bad, like this is already a bad situation, and you see a guy just sit there. And you can tell it's like, oh, this guy's lost control. He's lost control. Not because people think that means control of his wife. It's like, no, he's lost control of his life.
Yeah.
That he can't look at his wife and be like, we're leaving.
This is a microcosm of
The relationship.
Of everything.
the guy's life. And
Yeah.
you think about, I do think about that because this exact things happen to me where, not to me specifically, but just, a woman gets too drunk or even the gender's reverse where it's like one person is embarrassed by the other person. And then you're like, golly, I'd love to just hear the car ride home. Like, what conversations are being had? I had, and the craziest one I've ever had, it was a meth situation. Jackson, Tennessee, South Street Comedy Club.
I've been there.
Have you really?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, are you
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Yeah. All right, awesome. The South Street, I think it's closed.
Yes. That's like one of the first times I did a club. Like a
So
real club.
that's wild. So you can visualize what this room looks like. It was a mess the few times that I did it. And this woman in the crowd starts asking me, I was opening for somebody. This woman asked me, let me get the mic for a few seconds. I was like, absolutely not. That's not remotely how this works. I'm going to keep the mic. She's like, let me get the mic. And I go, no. And then headliner gets up. She's like, let me get the mic. And like, I'm not. Nobody at any point is telling these people to stop talking. So they're just keep asking for the mic. And then the guy gets involved and it's a couple and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so she's standing up. It just devolves into they're screaming at the comic on stage. Finally, the owner comes over, grabs the woman by the arm, and she says, don't touch me. You're touching the Holy Spirit.
Oh, damn. You should have given her the mic. This is sort of how you fucked up.
You know what? In retrospect, I would like to have picked her brain a little bit. I didn't know it was God heckling me. So this woman was having a full-on episode where she thought she was God. So now I'm like, yeah, dude, if you thought you were God, it'd be pretty upsetting to not be given the mic that many times. So she gets kicked out. I mean, when she says that, the room gasped. Like, what? So they get thrown out, and then they get in the car, and then they peel out of the parking lot, and they hit like 7 cars on the way out.
Oh, my God.
Because it's attached to that little Italian restaurant back there. They pulled around, just smashed some cars and drove out. It was definitely a meth-influenced series of events, you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's West Tennessee for
Yeah.
you.
What if God was one of us, huh? Just a stranger on the bus, just a heckler at the show. No idea who it could be.
Yeah, dude, to be a fly in some of those car rides home.
Ooh.
Yeah, I asked the headliner, I go, is that the craziest thing you've seen at a show? He goes, bro, that's not the top 5 craziest things I've seen at this club. He said, last time I was here, somebody grabbed the cash register and threw it across the showroom. And
Wow.
then one time, there's a mirror behind you on stage. He said one time the people in the balcony were bored with the show. They just started throwing quarters at him. And so he's on stage bombing, and he just hears like cling, cling behind him. And he looks up, and people are hurling quarters, and they're hitting. I mean, it's pieces of metal.
Yeah.
And it's hitting him. And he's like, well, dude, screw it. Bends down, picks up all the quarters, and gets off stage. So, dude, yeah, you get put in some weird situations. And
That's the most comic
In
thing ever.
comedy.
To bend down and grab the quarters. Because, it's like, well,
I'm going to get like $3.25
Yeah,
now.
it's like-
I might as well grab it.
Yeah, it's very rare that you bomb and make money at the same time.
Yeah.
yo,
Like-
what's that story that you told me a million times? It's so funny, bro, about like, it's such a comic essence story about a guy going to trial, whatever, and
Oh, so this
it's
is
one of my favorite stories I've ever heard.
This is just like, it's like almost like an urban legend
It's
comic.
like a pure comedy thing.
So a guy who's normally who like features at this club gets to host for, they need the last second host. He's like, okay, I'll host. Something goes down at the club. There's like a crime or whatever. He has to go to court as a witness. And the lawyer goes, so you were hosting the show? He goes, yeah, I was hosting the show. Normally I feature.
That's so funny, dude. I heard this. It's funny. I had heard that story told as it was part of the Vince Champ trial. Do you know Vince Champ?
Oh, yeah. You know about this? This would be a great movie.
Vince Champ, he won Star Search, stand-up comedian, serial rapist. He
Pull
raped
him up, Val, please.
he raped like 40 women. He's in prison for life right now.
Yeah. And the way they figured out is he was touring colleges, and there would be a rape happening at every single college
It's
he toured.
like if you pulled up
I
his-
have heard the legend
dude,
of this guy.
If you
Vince
pulled up
Champ,
his
not
tour
Chance.
schedule and then you put like where all these rapes happened, it was like it just like followed where he was. And he would afterwards he would make he'd make the women pray with him after. This guy's, I mean, obviously I'm gonna go out on a limb here.
Why is it just
Bad
JD
dude.
Vance pictures?
It's Vince Champ, sorry, not Vance.
Okay, I was like, yo, why is
Yeah,
it just, they really don't like JD.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a black dude? He's a brother?
Yeah, sorry. I know what you were hoping for, Derek. You were hoping we pull it up and look just like me, huh? Yeah, so he's 30 to 40 years in prison right now.
Yeah, he got on it. He when they were closing in on him, he booked a like a cruise ship deal, thinking that he'd be safe on the cruise ship because of like international water.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Val, can you do me a favor? Can you just go to his his actual YouTube, or I
Just
wanna
to
see-
video him?
I gotta see what he talked about.
Very well. He was actually identified by his voice because he had a very distinctive, deep voice.
VH1 stand up on the spotlight, 1990. Go hit that.
Yeah, I think this is the only video of stand up of him.
Oh my God, that's fucking
Rosie O'Donnell.
Right now, a friend of mine.
It's good to be here. Start things off by saying I right away kind of consider myself quite different from most black comedians because I have a black girlfriend. So, I...
He's good. That's not bad. That was it now. That was it right now.
You should not use specifically.
Back there.
Yeah, his voice is crazy distinct.
I really do consider myself quite different from most comics. I'm a stand-up comic, travel a great deal. Don't drink or smoke. Can you believe that? Do a little heroin.
He was a good comic. I mean, he won essentially what was Last Comic Standing back then.
Hit
which
the
is
swag
Star
on
Search.
stage, you can feel it. You can feel
Pure
the presence.
confident.
Pure confidence.
But
Yeah,
every
of
time he
course.
says something a little different, you're like, the darkness is there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes.
saying. Because I was waiting for that. I'm like, yeah, keep going. How different you are.
Yeah.
And he was a clean comic too, which doesn't help.
Yeah, bro. The
help
clean
the
boys,
cause.
dude. Well, you're good. It's the clean black ones. It's the clean black ones is what we've learned. They're the ones that really have a problem.
But I had heard that street joke. I had heard that told as like somebody who opened for him said that at court. Who knows what's real?
Yeah, at this point, it's a comic urban legend, but it is very like,
my
this is
favorite
what
one.
comedy
I'll
is.
tell you my favorite comic joke. So a guy, a comic on the road, he gets back to his hotel after the night, and he's tired, and he's like, golly, dude, I'm ready to go home tomorrow, right? There's a knock on the door. Opens the door. Beautiful woman standing at the door of his hotel. And he goes, can I help you? And she goes, I was at your show tonight, and I loved it. I was blown away by how funny you are, and I would have laughed harder, but I just became distracted by how attracted I was to you. And I didn't know what to do, so I tracked down every hotel in the city, and I asked, is there a comedian staying there? And I tracked this down, and I found you. And I don't know another way to say this, but I just want to sleep with you. And the comment goes, were you at the early show or the late show? That's my favorite, dude.
That's so accurate.
That's exactly
crazy.
what I would have.
Exactly what, if any comedian, that's exactly the first thing out of your mouth. Because I need to know if you. Is it the set I liked?
Yeah.
Because I didn't like one of them.
Yeah.
I need to know which one you saw.
I'm always like, where did you see me? I'm always curious. Yeah.
And I want to know what material you saw, just in case you see me again. I want to know what to do. Yeah, that's nothing. So many other factors at play here.
Damn, that's so funny.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't. The throwing quarter story reminded me of the story. I don't know if I told you this. I was in Indianapolis one day, and there was this guy. He was like a character. He was on Last Comic Standing, whatever, and he brought this beer bucket up with him, and he had these like pins of like dicks.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's what he just. But instead of just giving it away, he would just rocket throw them into the audience. Just like full wind up, just fuck.
Wait, he crow hopped? What did he crow?
Yeah. He crow up, just dude, just people just dodging.
Are people into it?
No, there's like dick missiles coming at them, and they're just like, oh my god, how do I? Yeah.
Let me say, can you pull up Lambert's Cafe in Alabama? It's kind of a staple place. It reminded me of that. It's the home of the throwed roll. Yeah, I think if you go to videos, there might be. I don't know.
Throwed roll. Home of the throwed roll,
dude. Yeah, the way it's this. I'm pretty sure I got COVID at this place in 2020. But really great. They come out and they just start pegging people with hot rolls.
That's so for like children.
And and they're huge. And they probably weigh like a pound each. Yeah, let's see if this guy gets a good toss in. Oh, this guy's being nice.
Oh, they like overhand chuck them.
When I've seen it, yeah, the guy's like aggressively taking out some anger on these guys. I guess you're not going to do that to a child in the face.
That's crazy. So they throw rolls?
That's like the whole gimmick of this place is they throw rolls at people. I don't know.
How's the food?
Why it's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's great. Look how happy everybody looks in this.
Yeah, if there's like a fun experience, the food doesn't have to be the best. It's just like the experience is worth it alone.
Exactly.
I'd like it if someone threw a roll at me. That'd be fun.
You ever go to like a place where the whole point of it is they're mean to you?
I haven't done one of those yet.
No,
I haven't either. I'd be curious to go.
Yeah, I feel like though that's like definitely also a kink. Where like there must be some weird dudes that go to those restaurants.
Isn't that crazy? I'd be curious to go, but I know I wouldn't like it because my immediate reaction would be like, well, why are you being mean? Like, that's my instinct
because you're comics, but you're both nice guys. Right?
I don't. I'm not trying to roast you back, so it's like now I'm mad.
Do y'all do roast battle shows ever?
No, we're not.
I've never done a roast battle.
I've never done a roast battle. Yeah, I'm a riffer, baby.
Yeah.
If there was a riff battles,
yeah,
I'd riff all day.
I judged the roast battle in Chicago, and dude, I was just like, it's so. I feel like such a loser because I was like, y'all are being so mean. Like, what? Every battle I would go, are y'all friends? And they would go, yeah. And I'd go, thank God. It's like, I can't imagine. There was this girl that everybody kept saying looked like a horse, and the stuff was so mean they were saying to her. I felt so bad for her. I wanted to give her a hug after the battle.
Were you also laughing still?
Yeah, it was really good. they were good jokes. Really good jokes.
That's the crazy part. You'll hear jokes, you're like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So me, yeah. But I can't. I respect it. I love it. I love Kill Tony. I love being on the panel. But it is. That's not my goal.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking of trying to be funny.
What's the best roast joke you've ever heard? Just one, just a joke.
I'll never forget this. This is because when I was working roast battle in LA, in the green room, in the belly room of the Comedy Store, this guy is Wub Saval versus Brandon Bricks. That was the battle.
Okay.
Brandon Bricks is this big black guy. So Wub goes, you might recognize Brandon from Planet of the Apes. He played the planet.
Dang, that's good.
That's That's like clever though.
Yeah.
That I'm walking you down the race joke, and that's
Yeah,
extremely
You
clever.
think it's going to be racism.
Racism.
Really, it's
just
You're fat.
Yeah, just body shaming. I love that.
Yeah, what's yours? I'm trying to think.
I've got two that jump out to me that I think about. Mike Lawrence versus Ralphie May. And I just did a show with Mike Lawrence last night. I want to ask him about it at some point. He told Ralphie May, the hardest part about your divorce was getting the ring off your finger. It's just a great joke. And then also so personal, dude.
Damn.
The other one is, and it's kind of it's been talked about, but Dina Hashem versus, I don't even remember the guy's name, Dave Kinney, maybe the guy's name is. And she says, Dave's mom died in a car accident. She took a nasty spill. Dave's mom actually died the way Dave lives, as an unrecognizable road feature. Yeah, like, golly, that might be the best joke I've ever heard. And
that's really good.
And that would cut me deep hearing that.
That one's really. I remember. I don't know if the best one I heard, but I remember liking this one. It was Jay Light versus Carlos Miller on the 85
I know
South
this
show,
battle well. Yeah.
Yeah, and when he said, Carlos actually spells his name different than how you normally. It's Karlou, child support.
Yeah, that's what Carlos Miller was. I feel like I've never met him, but it did not feel like he was prepared for that battle at all.
That's one of the crazy.
He goes, look, those shoes look like sweet potatoes. And Jay Light goes, yeah, you wouldn't know sweet potatoes. You're like, oh, it's over.
Well, it's also like, oh, these are two different fighting styles.
100%.
And one, it's like, oh, this guy knows karate, but this guy knows MMA.
Yeah.
The MMA guy's going to beat you because he just knows everything.
He's doing it like they're on the back of the bus on a field trip, like roasting.
Yeah.
Like that's a different muscle than.
No, this guy, not only did he write jokes, he had other people check him and give him other, like, that's this has been workshop, brother.
Yeah.
Like, these are samurai slices coming at you. Yeah, that battle was, it was crazy because it's like, damn, if this was just at the back of the club, this wouldn't be going, like, it'd probably be the other way around. Carlos would probably be frying him because it would be off the top and everyone would be laughing. But it's like, no, this is a different version of stand-up.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. But also just to sit down and be like, what's the meanest thing I can think of like him? I would hate that.
Yeah, if you had to go against each other in I mean, you know a lot about each other.
It would probably be a good roast battle.
It would, because it would be personal. But I know me, I would probably not do, because I would, the idea
there would be stuff about him you wouldn't talk about in a roast, and vice versa.
And I don't even know if I'd be roasting or if I'd do like some kind of character and make it way more riffy and fun for me. The idea of like, I'm going to come up with a setup punchline roast for or anybody, I was like, it's only fun like when you ever see the ones where like I forgot who was the roast for on Comedy Central, but Bill Hader came out as like Hollywood.
That was the James Franco roast.
I thought like I would want to do something like that.
As
where it's
character.
like, let me roast as a character. So now it's like I'm roasting, but from this crazy perspective, which gives me something more fun to have fun with.
Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna actually shit on Ehsan.
Right.
You know what I mean? It'd be fun. Like, I'm gonna be Osama bin Laden, and then I'm gonna shit on him. Now
That's
it's
so
like,
funny.
you see what
That's
I'm saying?
so funny to roast me as my hero. But yeah, so when I got to LA too, the culture of roast battle was crazy because it's like it would just like really popped.
Yeah.
And so people who were roasting, they would like set the people that they were roasting as their screensaver on their phone. So when they looked at their phone, they're automatically like, okay, what about this guy?
Yeah, that sounds.
And I just remember being like, that sounds like such a negative headspace to be in.
Sounds like psychotic behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like putting a picture like on the corner of your bathroom mirror so you could see. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's what Rocky did in Rocky
That's
4.
what I was thinking.
Exactly.
Of.
It's like,
Exactly.
we're taking Rocky 4 level approach to this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I can't see myself doing it, but I do enjoy it, and I love a good one.
Oh, I mean, the good ones stick with you.
Yeah.
The ones at the mothership have been fantastic. So
And it's good. A lot of comics, it's good because it forces them to write a joke. Do you have people like that where you go, that's the only jokes they write or the roast jokes?
Yeah, it's weird.
That
You
used
go,
to
you
be
can
a whole
treat,
genre of
you know,
comedy.
you could put up a picture of a regular show on your phone. And just work on that.
It is crazy that you would see some of the people, especially in LA, you see some people who are like, this guy's the best roaster I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then you see him do a set, and it's like, how did this not transfer over?
Name, Name.
Because it's like, if you can roast this person so good, why can't you roast, fucking
The concept of
anything?
yeah.
The concept of you can't roast anything else, like your ex-girlfriend, your old
Roast an
self.
idea.
Roast an idea.
But
Yeah.
you know what the difference is? The difference is like, how good are you creating the context of what you're talking about, right? So with roast battle, there's already a context
It's a
of what this
built-in
is.
context.
It's a built-in context. With stand-up, you have to build the context and you have to get them on your side before you even decide to roast the thing.
It's why some people are funny talking to the group of their friends versus stand up talking to strangers.
Right.
Because they have the built in context of they all know who they are, all that stuff. Yeah. I think about that a lot.
Yeah, like if I'm the racist guy in the friend group, but you go on stage, you
Yeah.
just you're not, and you're just like, oh, what, this guy's just
You have
being
to
racist.
wear a Confederate flag shirt.
Yeah.
Just so they know.
A comic on stage with a Confederate flag shirt. I am watching. I'm like, if I'm walking by, I'm like, well, I gotta see what he's.
You see Confederate flags a lot down here, and probably not in Austin,
Not at all,
but in Texas.
In Texas, I've seen them, but you know what's funny? Way more in Memphis, where I grew up. You'd see them,
Yeah.
like, because I went to a private high school.
That's the front lines.
It's front lines,
Yeah.
Memphis,
brother. But I'd see them in the parking lot of the high school all over. Like, everyone had them on their trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was
and
pretty used to
Texas,
it.
I mean, they fought for the Confederacy, but Texas has always been like, we're Texas.
We're our own thing.
Yeah, we're our
Yeah,
own thing.
That's the energy.
Yeah, so it's like there's a lot more Texas flags than I would say Confederate flags for sure.
The most Confederate flags I've ever seen, rural Pennsylvania. I saw so many Confederate flags in rural Pennsylvania. Rural.
Yeah, but why? Because wouldn't that be
They
the
were
North?
a union.
That's the North.
They were
Yeah.
a union state. Yeah, but I think that flag means different things to different people. But yeah, so but I saw a lot. I had never been to Pennsylvania, and I was driving through it, and I noticed.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know?
it's
Yeah.
like really like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
because in rural Pennsylvania, that's pure racism. There's
Yes.
there's no like, you can't be like, well, my family fought, my family, this is culture or whatever. You can't do that in rural Pennsylvania.
No,
It's
you
either-
just don't like black.
You
You
just
just
don't
really
like-
don't like them.
In Nashville, you don't see it a lot. Can you pull up one thing for me real quickly? It's the Nathan Bedford Forrest statue in Nashville. Hold on. Man, was it Nathan Bedford Forrest? What's the yeah? Look at this. So this was the big look at the first.
I mean, his face is
I mean,
fucking
unbelievable.
crazy,
yeah,
dude.
this was. So this was a big statue of Nathan Bedford Forrest, who's the founder of the Ku Klux Klan, but also one of the people instrumental in founding the state of Tennessee. So he's has been a complicated figure in Tennessee politics for a long time. There is a bust of him in the state capitol that I think has been removed. But this statue kind of greeted you for years as you drove into Nashville. And it was vandalized. You see a couple of pictures down there where it was like painted, people dumped paint on it.
Right.
And then they just left it up there without cleaning it. And then I think it's been removed now.
Oh, they removed that? See,
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to deal with the Confederate general statues. Make them look like that.
Make them look ridiculous.
Yeah, make them look absolutely ridiculous. Like, keep it up. You look crazy. We'll give you that.
If you did see that statue, you go, I can't tell if the sculptor liked this guy or not.
Yeah, click on
It
that
doesn't
picture.
feel supportive.
Yeah, it doesn't, right?
Are you making a mockery of Nathan Bedford Forrest? That's what it
It's
feels
also crazy.
like.
That's the same horse from the Denver airport.
Yeah.
That's
Lucifer?
that horse.
That's Lucifer.
That's
right
Lucifer,
there.
dude.
In his early days, working with the KKK. But yeah, I think that should stay up. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. He helped create the state, but also he lost the Civil War, so you got to get made fun of.
No, yeah, also, you have to keep this shit up, bro. Because in my head, people are like, oh, you remember. It's like, no, you put cool black people statues near him. You punish, you have to let the history be like, oh, wow, there's a statue of him. And now there's a statue of Lil Wayne. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, time evolved.
Look how badly he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put him behind him on the same horse. Lil Wayne and Nathan Bedford.
But you gotta remind people how far we've come. When you take it away, you lose. You know, you have to. I think you keep it up. You remind people. You put other things. You just put other things up too. You don't just make this the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Well, you remember Forrest Gump in the movie? He says he's named after Nathan Bedford
He
Forrest.
does say that.
My mom named me that to remind me that sometimes people do things that just don't make no sense.
His mom was a racist bitch, bro.
It's like if you're trying to teach your kid that, you don't need to name him Nathan Bedford Forrest. Just tell him that. Just tell him sometimes people do things that don't make sense.
Yeah, you don't have to name him. You really love this guy. You
This is your brother lynching McGillicuddy. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay. Let's start the podcast. Eric, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Solid Show, brother.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Thanks
None
for
of that
having
will
me,
be
man.
in. Yep. Start
That's
now.
good. I got it out. Now I can get into it.
So every guest that we have on,
Yep.
we like to make games for that specific guest.
Okay.
You know?
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
So your game, Ehsan Ahmad, you want to tell me this game?
Yes, you will be playing against Deric, and it's how well do you know Weber State?
Weber State, the college?
Yep.
I can tell you right now, not well. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's so funny if I was like, oh, I'm about to. I know so much about Weber State.
Did you go to Weber State?
No.
No, your last name's Weber, so we were like,
Okay.
Yeah,
This
and
is
it's,
the
and
game.
it-
We could have
it's-
done the grills, but yeah. Okay.
No. We chose the university
perfect.
because I figured you guys knew nothing about it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just 8 questions. The first 3 are multiple choice, and
crazy you didn't make them all multiple choice.
no, because it gets
Okay.
Yeah. You'll see. So, first question: where is Weber State? A, South Carolina. B, Utah. C, Illinois. D, Massachusetts.
Is this whoever answers first?
You could both give me what you guys think here for the multiple choice.
I think this is in Utah.
What do you think, Deric?
South Carolina.
All right, and the answer? Utah. It's like the 1-0 lead.
I graduated Weber State summa cum laude, brother. Let's go.
He played me. We already put money on it. I'm like, oh no.
That was a complete guess.
Next question: what's their mascots? Are they the Bears, the Wildcats, the Vandals, or the Eagles?
The Weber State Vandals sounds incredible. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's Eagles. D. Final answer.
I'm gonna go the Weber State Wildcats. I'm thinking they're gonna stick with W's.
And the answer
WSW.
is the Wildcats with title 1.
Literally went off of just how
Okay.
it sounds off the tongue.
Yeah.
The Weber State Wildcats.
Yeah. All right.
I love these brains.
Yeah.
that kids get. You got a real attitude.
What is their athletic conference? Are they American Athletic, Conference USA, Mountain West, or Big Sky?
Well, Big Sky's a festival. We all know that. We know that.
They're not. I don't think that they're an FBS, or I don't think that they're a D1 school.
These are all D1 conferences.
Oh, so I'm just thinking football. So I guess in other sports. So with Utah, I'm gonna go Mountain West.
Mountain West, see.
So both say Mountain West. The
Yeah.
answer:
American.
Big Sky. Yeah.
They won the festival.
They
won
won the
Big
festival.
Sky.
Yeah. All right. Next question. So this is whoever gets closest to the year. When was the last time they were in the March Madness tournament?
2021.
2016.
The correct answer is 2016. God damn.
I've never felt closer to God. I've never felt anything like the way I feel right now. That was crazy, bro. I went off of like what was the best year for basketball, not college. I was
Yeah.
just like, what's the best year for basketball?
That's
2016. That was the year Kobe retired. That was the 3-1 comeback LeBron year.
Why was Kobe retiring part of the best year?
Because that last game.
You were ready to get rid of him?
Well, and that I hated him.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Well, I'm a Memphis Grizzly.
Yeah.
So I've hated him.
You were happy when everything happened?
The first trouble thing he did.
Oh, yeah.
The first naughty thing he
I
did.
meant the death. But
No, I mean, I actually celebrated like we all did. But
I'm just a big fan of aviation
that was
crashes.
2020. 2016,
Yeah.
that was the last game, and that's probably one of the most memorable moments of watching basketball I've ever had. Just 'cause
Wow.
that was visceral. That last game was visceral.
Yeah.
So 2016 to me is the best year of basketball.
And Weber State made the tourney.
And remember, that's the last time they did it. It's been almost 10 years.
I love that.
2-1 lead.
2-1 lead for Deric. All right. In 1999, the 14th seed Weber State knocked out which college blue blood in the first round of the tournament? Now, we're going to go back and forth. We'll go since Aaron's on the... We're just going to keep guessing until we get it. It's a famous school.
Kansas,
Wrong.
Duke.
Wrong.
Kentucky,
Wrong.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Golly, that was.
I mean, it hit a point where we were both, we knew we were gonna, like, it was coming.
I was running out of blue blood program. Golly.
All right.
Good for Weber State.
Next question. In 1995, 14th seed Weber State knocked off which college blue blood in the first round of the tournament?
Wait, it was back-to-back years?
95 and 99. So 4 years apart.
Kansas.
So, no.
Duke.
No.
North Carolina.
No.
Kentucky?
No.
Georgetown.
No. Look, a couple clues.
Yeah.
Okay, now anyone can just yell it out at this point since I'm giving you clues.
Yeah.
Last time I believe they were in the finals in 2019.
Villanova.
No.
Oh my God.
Big Ten.
Big Ten.
Michigan.
Ohio State.
No, not Michigan, not Ohio State.
Purdue.
No.
Michigan State.
Michigan State. There we go.
Michigan
It's
State.
Deric. It's Michigan State.
Izzo.
Yeah, that was gonna be my last clue. It was gonna be.
This is
Izzo.
awesome.
Wow.
I will say this, not to make you feel bad, but the guest always wins.
Real
So the fact that you have no idea how good I feel right now. I've never won.
To be fair, it's when we do it with the guests, it's a little less random than Weber State. This is just because of the last name.
I liked it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Current
Name a current starting point guard. Whoever yells that first, that's
White or black?
black.
I'm out. Weber State.
Yeah, this is a famous one.
John Morant.
No,
Chris Webber.
no.
8-point guard. Actively, that's great. That's crazy.
Mike Bibby, I think.
2013 NBA Rookie of the Year.
Whoa.
Damian Lillard.
Yeah, there we
Go!
Wow.
Yeah, Damian Lillard.
I was
Was
like, who's a superstar went to small college? Like John Morant, Damian Lillard.
Yep.
I forget he went to a small college. You forget sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not one of those people that can name the colleges.
When did
That's
the
like a game that
playoffs
people
start?
know.
When? Today? Tomorrow?
I think this is the last game of the play-ins today.
Okay.
Have you been following all the LeBron songs? And
Yes.
everything. I love them, dude.
I
Yes.
love
Yeah,
So fun.
I was listening. I have them on. I listen to them on Spotify like real songs. I'm talking about the man on the Lakers.
And this is the last one.
Okay, perfect.
According to EduRank, out of 2,400 colleges in America, where does Weber State rate academically?
All
Whoever's
right.
closest.
Oh, I love this. I
Whoever's
love
closest
this.
wins.
I love these rankings. It's definitely not top 100. I'll tell you that. Notre Dame's right around 19.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Made me feel. I looked up my college afterwards. We were 20.
Damn.
Where'd you go?
UC San Diego.
Oh, how about
1920?
that? Yeah, that's right, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. God, Weber State.
I'm gonna guess.
I'm going around 245.
Wow, I was gonna say 241. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's close? We go
The
price the right rules.
Price. Well, Aaron's close. It's 425, I believe.
fuck,
Four-
dude.
Yeah,
Oh my
425.
God. This school sucks. 425, dude.
Wait, how many colleges was
Out of
it out of?
2,400
Okay.
in America.
I mean,
No, 425 is crazy though.
wow.
I mean, you're in the top quarter.
Who was last?
I don't know. I didn't look. That's interesting.
Who was
to see.
first?
I mean, I'd have to guess it would have to be like one of the Ivy Leagues or Stanford.
It's like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, MIT, depending on it's the U.S. News and World Report is usually the gold standard. EduRank.
I chose that just because it was just the first one that came up when I looked at it.
Harvard.
And then Stanford.
And then Stanford.
Stanford.
Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Well, go down. Let's see it until we get to. I want to see if Notre Dame is in the top. Is in
Yeah,
the
I
top
wanna
20
see
on
it.
this one.
Oh,
Michigan?
hold on. I'm gonna stop you right
Cornell.
there. This list is nonsense. Michigan, number 3 in the country.
I mean,
Berkeley, MIT,
MIT 6 over under Michigan.
Hey, let me
University
tell
of
you something.
Washington, John Hopkins. Damn.
Yo, Washington is a beautiful school. I was
Let me
just
tell you
over
something, dude. This
UCLA.
list is ridiculous.
there. Madison, Wisconsin, Minnesota,
I didn't even heard of the Twin Cities.
Penn-
Get out of here.
Ohio State,
Yeah, this is.
Hey, that's UC San Diego, 20.
Illinois. Yo, it's
about
still at 20. Yo,
that?
his was at. Yo, wait, where? Now I want to know where Notre Dame is. 'Cause
Yeah. Go up, search up
I'm
Notre
about
Dame.
to pull up. This is the problem with the discourse in America right now. We're not trusting. We're trusting the wrong. Trusting the wrong sources.
No, in
Hate
the
to go
search
Douglas
bar.
Murray on you right now.
In the
but
search bar up top, look up Notre Dame. You see that it says uni name or location?
Yeah.
No. Go back to yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, watching Val try to navigate computers is the best.
Yeah.
It's just our producer barely knowing how a computer works.
Let's see. It's gonna be. Yeah.
Let's see what they say. Click it.
No, it's just.
Oh, just click the thing.
It's all right. We got lost somewhere.
Yeah.
I got U.S. News World Report college rankings.
I think if I just, it's got to be on this 100 list. No.
Well, if it's
Yeah.
not on the top 100. Well, because the top 100 doesn't load. Here, I'll just look it up.
It's N-O-T. You're just misspelling Notre Dame. N-O-T-R-E. That's what N-O-T-R-E.
N-O-T-R.
Yeah, there we go. 76.
Oh!
Yeah,
Under UT?
Let me tell you something, dude.
Above Dartmouth, somehow.
Yeah, I mean, what are we? I mean, absurd. Absolutely.
Dude, you were way off because you said 19. He said 20 and it was 20. You said 19.
Absolutely indefensible list. I mean, what are we doing here? 76, dude?
Well, Aaron, I just met you. It's good to know you're a dumbass.
And that's our show, everybody.
Ridiculous, man.
but no, seriously, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, y'all are awesome, dude. Thank you,
a lot
guys.
of fun.
Appreciate it,
brother.
dude.
Appreciate you,
Great
dude.
to meet you, man.
Nice to actually meet you.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Guys, go
That's
watch
fun.
Aaron do everything. He's super funny.
He's got a
Awesome.
special on YouTube?
out.
Special on
He's the man.
YouTube. Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
See you guys next week. Oh.
Let's find just for my own sanity.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Google. Let's go back to Google. And let's find the U.S. News and World Report. That's edgy rank is in the search, so you got to get rid of that.
Oh, yeah.
If you do U.S. News World Report college. Yeah, college rankings. There we go. National universities right there. Well,
Oh.
yeah, we go to the actual. There you go.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, you called?
All right, now we're back to where things.
Princeton.
Here.
Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Val.
I was just going to look
Oh,
at
yeah, there you go. Look up Notre Dame.
18. There we go. See now, okay.
Huh.
Okay,
18
I'll
I can live
hit up
with there.
everybody.
18. We're top 20. We're in the mix. 76 is like I want money. I want my money back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, because 18, it is like, all right, I do believe you now. I was hoping you were just off. I was like, oh, man, it's just, that's what it used to be for him.
Yeah, you'd have to. This is all payment questions or like Adam questions.
Not even on it.
University of California, San Diego. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's like that's. Yeah.
29.
Okay.
So look,
That's
dude,
the call.
We're in the thick of it, man. We're in the.
I don't know, though, because his college is in both rankings.
We're in.
Look up Belhaven University.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I'm
I'm
curious.
curious.
I'm curious, too. No. One word, one L. There it is.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, you're like Weber State.
I mean, they don't even give you an exact number. They go, it's just. It's not. They go, what does it even matter at this point?
Are we still recording now?